The most important thing that you can do for your kids, the most important thing you can do for your kids, hands down, is to help them make their faith the most important thing in their lives. That's it. The most important thing that you can do for your kids is to help them make their faith the most important thing to their lives. And again, this isn't just pastor speak. I'm not talking to you just as a pastor. I'm talking to you as a fellow parent. Let me make this really practical. This isn't some kind of high-level spiritual thing. Super practically, there are a few moments that I think about in the future of my kids. I think about my kids' first weekend in the 13th grade. I think about that first weekend after they've graduated from high school. They're off at college, or they're off in the military, or they're off at work. Their first weekend in the 13th grade, I think about 2 a.m. Saturday morning. That's what I think about. I think about Boyd or Charlie or Mary Frances walking around this new town that they're in, and I think about the decisions that they're making at 2 a.m. And their GPA will have been important. Their GPA likely will determine what college town they're in. But the decisions that they make at 2 a.m. will have nothing to do with their GPA and will have everything to do with their relationship with God and their knowledge of the Scripture. I think it's really important. And I think about that first business meeting or that first business trip. Either that first business trip ever or that first business trip after the kids have come, that first business trip after you've had the big fight, the first time that they're out of town and they have the meeting and then they go to the bar on the first floor of the hotel. I think about that moment for them. And whether they won state, whether they could turn a double play, whether they made the dance squad, will have taught them some things. It will not only have given them stories to share in the meeting, it will have taught them teamwork and how to lead, all those things. All of that is important. But how long they stay at the bar and what they do once they're done at the bar will have nothing to do with whether they won state and everything to do with their relationship with God and their knowledge of the Scripture. I think about when they bring a life into this world. I think about when they bring our grandkids into this world. And there are so many things that will impact their parenting, but there is nothing that will impact their parenting more than their relationship with God and their knowledge of the Scripture. And one last little bonus one. When Boyd and Charlie and Mary Frances are making decisions about what home I'm going to be in, I want them to know that one of the commandments is to honor your mother and your father, right? The most important thing that we can do as parents for our kids is to teach them and to help them make the faith the most important thing in their lives. Number one. It doesn't mean the other things aren't important. It doesn't. Look, Boyd is in t-ball and he's in soccer. All of those things are important. Number one, most important. If you get the faith thing right, everything else falls in order.